Yeah, what's up with y'all? This the kid Still City Meech, man. Want to welcome you back to the channel. Sorry if I haven't been posting in a while. I had to get my work done, get all that business taken care of before I even got back to the YouTube grind and everything. But you know, your boy is back, and he's back better than ever. All right. So y'all, I'm gonna introduce y'all by saying like this. We are officially 2 months away from the start of the college football season, and we are 1 year away from NCAA football, the new football game. Yo, this is pretty dope, man. And just the thing, when we first heard that news last, in February of what, 2021? Yo, we were crazy and we was like, yo, this is going to take forever, but look at how it is. We now officially got 1 year left, and yo, I just want to talk about the football game with y'all. So we do have some information. I know there's probably been a lot of YouTubers that's already covered it already, but at the end of the day, you got to take your time with these YouTube videos. I'm sorry if I'm not as consistent as I want to be. It's just, you know, you gotta make that money elsewhere before you can make it, you know, in YouTube too. You gotta use that to, you know, help your grind out. So you get the point. But yo, we got some new information about the EA Sports college football game coming up. These slides that I'm reading off of are thanks to Bring Back College Football, Bring Back NCAA back, or whatever, student section, and then Matt Brown of Extra Points. So what it says here is that EA has a framework to pay real players through an NIL deal and include them in the game. What does that mean? It means that the players are going to be paid. Come on, people. That's the reason why the game ended in the first place. That was the #1 priority. They made it the number one priority from what I'm looking at. And at the end of the day, them players are going to be paid. I just wonder what they're going to be paid, you know what I'm saying, going forward and doing whatever, because, you know, I wonder if they're all going to be paid the same amount or paid differently. Because me personally, I would low-key pay them all the same unless there's something extra to it. But on the other hand, who knows? The exception is that every FBS school, including the FCS teams that moved to the FBS, will be included in the game. So, for example, Sam Houston State, James Madison, Charlotte, App State, Georgia Southern, Coastal Carolina. Who else came in? I know a few more people came in, but hey, look, it is what it is. The fact that it matters, those teams are going to be in. And I'm actually excited because, yo, you get to play with some newer teams and everything, but you get to play on a new system, the PS5. I got to get my PS5 back because I sold it. And yo, I'm actually really excited about that. I'm really excited to play with some new teams. You know, thanks to College Football Revamped, we got to do that way earlier than expected. And at the end of the day, also shout out to College Football Revamped, bro. And I'll say right now, for all the new content creators you see now, we would not get as many views if it wasn't for College Football Revamped. And I'm gonna be the first one to say that. Because, okay, cool, watching NCAA football regular, you know, it's cool or whatever, but watching it on that mod and people getting to see it and people wanting to be put on whether it was TikTok, whether it was YouTube, whether it was on Instagram pictures, bro, we couldn't have done it without them. And shout out to Igloo and Sabo, they're at EA right now doing all their stuff. And yo, it's just really one of the most game-changing things that could have happened, man. So shout out to them. All right, so Ultimate Team and Dynasty Mode will be in the game. EA is taking it serious to update the game based off on-field and off-field changes since NCAA 14. Ooh, okay. So I think what this means is actually pretty self-explanatory. EA is taking it serious to update the game base on-field, you know, and off-field changes. So of course, recruiting, all that mess, you know, getting to do that. And I think Ultimate Team, you know, is going to be a priority, but I think EA is smart enough to know. Now, actually, I know for a fact they're smart enough. I don't want to doubt them one bit, because at the end of the day, I support EA Sports in this game, of course. You know, no hate towards them. But I think they know for a fact they can't do the same thing that they did in Madden when it came to Ultimate Team. They can't prioritize Ultimate Team on NCAA like how they tried to in Madden. I don't think it's actually possible, knowing that there's so much more to college football than just the ultimate team. At the end of the day, dynasty mode is way more important than playing a franchise mode on NFL, which, you know, shouldn't even be a debate for real. But I feel like those things are so prioritized that you can't really prioritize Ultimate Team on college football like you think you can. So I feel like I trust them enough to, you know, not try to even make it a priority in the first place. Oh yeah, and by the way, I know I don't want to sound spiteful or nothing, but to all those 2K YouTubers and Madden YouTubers, don't try to ride the wave now. Come on. Don't try to ride the wave. I already know it. I know 2K kind of, you know, falling off a little bit. I know Madden's kind of been getting boring, but don't try to ride the wave now. Come on, you had to be on that mess. I'm messing. No, I just don't want it. You know, I want it to be the diehard NCAA fans that were actually playing the game, and not the ones that just decide to hop onto it because it was, you know, convenient. So but that's just me. No spitefulness. You know what I'm saying? EA Sports will release DLC that will create additional revenue streams. So DLCs, it's gotta be uniforms. It's gotta be uniforms. It's gotta be a story mode that has you add attributes or something to that extent. Because in my personal opinion, I think they're going to be at that point where they do some type of, you know, my college, my dorm type beat or whatever, and then you get to play online. But on the other hand, let me not speak too fast into it. You know, you speak into wish list ideas, and everybody starts getting hyped, and they start getting upset when it's not in there. The fact of the matter is, we don't know what's going on in EA Sports right now. But yeah, additional revenue. Honestly, yeah, I say uniforms. I say they will treat it like Madden, as in if there is an updated field or updated look, they will. I'm positive they'll do that mid game, as a DLC pack. I feel like it only makes sense. That's just me though. EA is attempting to recreate stadium experiences for each school to provide realism. Now, I did see something about this, right? So what I heard was, besides the fact that you're seeing that EA is attempting to recreate stadium experiences, they're also, remember that time I made that wish list and I said, EA Sports, you should probably prioritize making those sounds more realistic and up to date. Well, guess what? I'm positive they're going to do that. I heard from a source saying that they're actually going to prioritize, band sounds now and actual band chants, that they actually use in real games. And honestly, I'm actually excited for that. I feel like making it sound just a little bit more realistic than, the old fight songs from back in NCAA 03. I feel like that makes it more alive just a little bit more. I mean, of course, should be some changes to the gameplay too, but on the other hand, yeah. But I did hear that they're also trying to, help the crowd get more into the game, help them have a certain look. So we might be getting whiteouts, we might be getting some to that extent. At the end of the day, I'm actually all for that. I feel that using those simple things, and remember I was talking about my wish list literally 1 year around this time to the day. Remember, I was the main one talking about, you gotta add crowd, you gotta bring the crowd in. It's the simple things. You add the simple things and it makes you appreciate the game just a little bit more for the small details. Gameplay stuff, of course, it needs to be helped out a lot. It needs to be the number one thing you should take care of for real. But experience, gameplay, what's the word I'm looking for, venues, all that, just making those look a little bit better. Honestly, there are simple things that we love about these games. So yeah. And then schools, okay, so this is about being paid for the schools. Okay, so schools will be paid $10,000, $41,000, $62,000, or $100,000 to be in the game, depending on which tier they are in. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm fine with that. If you got Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, all those top tier teams that have been consistent over the years, I feel like you got to pay them way more. I get that. I'm perfectly fine with that. you know, and of course you want to get everybody in, of course. So, and honestly, in the words of Ted DiBiase Sr., everybody's got a price. And that's how it is in college football right now. And honestly, I'm actually perfectly fine with this. I'm perfectly fine with this. I have no issues with this. I feel like it's only right that you do it to that extent. Now, one thing I do want to hear from EA, I have to see, because of course Madden 23 is coming out next month. Actually, crazy, it's coming out next month. So one thing I really want to see, after they fully release the Madden game, I just want to see them get straight to work on the game. Just go straight to it. Get right into that mess. Like, and then even trying some new gameplay stuff. Like, if honestly, I feel like if there was any time you try a new gameplay, like it's right now. It's right now, in my personal opinion. You figure, they switched the, you know, they went into another gameplay, you know, starting in Madden 21. We're now at Madden 23. And you figure, if you really think about, you know, the past generations, whether it was Xbox, you know, PS2, something to that extent, PS3, they all had a certain gameplay for about 2 or 3 years, 1 or 2 years, maybe 3. But once it hit that 4th, they made a change. This could be the moment we're at right now. Because you figure, what, Madden 01 to 04 all look the same. But once it hit 06 to, you know, to the last of the consoles for PS2, bro, that gameplay was top tier. Same thing goes with, you know, PS3 type beat. It went from, you know, well, actually, it's better off using Xbox 360. So 07, in my personal opinion, 07 to, well, 06 to 07 on the Xbox 360 was like trash gameplay. But it hit 08, 09, and it was like, okay, it's getting better. Then 2010, 2011, 2012, it was like, oh, I like how this moves. 2013, you know, Madden 25, you could be a little iffy. But the fact of the matter is, at some point, a gameplay change had to happen, no matter if they were in the middle of a console or not. It happened at some point. And honestly, I expect EA to do that because I think this is the perfect time to actually try something. I feel like it's only right. But hey, let me know y'all thoughts on, you know, the new college football game coming out next year, bro. Yo, my personal thing is like, I gotta make some videos. Just like how I did I'm playing every single NCAA football game from 2000 to 2013 like I did last year around this time. Bro, we got to do that again. We got to do something to that extent again. And yo, y'all just got to support me because you already know I'm going to come in with the bangers. I'm going to come in with the content. Y'all know how it is. But yo, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share this with your friends while you're at it. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, the OG channel. Links in the description will be down below. But until then, it's the Kid Still City.